Hey guys, Becky here with Design Bundles, and I'm super excited to bring you another Glowforge project. Now, what are we going to talk about today? We are doing a 3D project, and of course we're making this really awesome combination of wood and acrylic to make this super cute earring holder. Let's get started. Okay, so this might surprise you guys and it might not, but I did cheat and I've already cut my acrylic. But I feel like you guys have seen me cut enough to know. And that's a pretty large piece too, just, you know, in case you were wondering how large this is going to turn out. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this out. And also, this is... I want to do that again, but this is pretty flexible. This is really thin, not the acrylic, but all these pieces. This is not something, I would not make this whole project out of acrylic, okay? But if you happen to make earrings, the good news is you can actually still make earrings out of the inside pieces, so it's not a total loss as far as, you know, the size of the design. All right, so here's my wood. I'm going to slide it on here. Alright, there we go. Now I'm going to close my lid and go over to the software. Alright, so here we are. Now I've already cut the acrylic. I went ahead and told you guys that. And this actually, you can't see it now, but it was proof grade acrylic. And I just want to say that it's still important to do some sort of test cut. And the reason I say that is because I cut on the defaults for proof grade, medium, clear acrylic. And the first time it actually did not cut all the way through. I was very, very lucky that I was able to line my design back up because I would have been very sad to waste all of that acrylic. But we are doing wood now, and this is actually a walnut wood panel just from a local hardware store. So I'm going to zoom out because I find it easier to set up my files that way. And if you're wondering how to get the design over here, let me show you. You're just going to open your File Explorer, and this is my SVG file, and you just drag and drop it and it'll load in the software. So really super easy. I really love how easy Glowforge made that. So I have a couple pieces here that I'm going to cut, and I'm going to rotate this around. All right, there we go. And then actually what I can do, cross your fingers, because I don't need this middle part, I can actually put my pieces in there, which is really, really cool, you know, to be able to use that space effectively, because I always hate when I feel like I'm wasting space. I don't know if I'll fit them both, though. Maybe not. Maybe just the one. Oh, maybe? Maybe? Ooh, I don't know. That's really close. That is really, really close. Let me see if I can turn it a little bit more. It's like a puzzle. Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, so if you notice over here, now I did delete the part that was for acrylic, right? And one thing that my lovely subscribers, watchers have informed me, and I'm trying to do better, I'm trying to remember, is to engrave before you cut. And I think that's a really great tip. So I'm going to make sure that my engraving is up here and then my cut lines are down here. So I'm going to change this to, now this is not a proof grade material, but I am still going to use the medium draft board. It has worked very well for me cutting this in the past. And let's go ahead, just to make sure, let's go ahead and set our material, rather set our focus. That's what I'm trying to say. We already set the material. Now we're going to set our focus. And I'm going to come through here and I'm going to change this to engrave. And that setting should be just fine. As a matter of fact, I think I usually just do full power, full speed. So then I will come here, and this is going to be a cut. And my manual settings for this are going to be, I will use 135 and full power. And I will use that for each of these three shapes. Okay, and then you can also tell 135 full, 135 full, 135 full, 1000 full. So
And then of course we have the engraving fills in purple, and then we have the cut lines in red. See how we got just a little bit off here? So we just want to select all of these, and I'm just going to use the directional arrows on my keyboard and just bump that a little bit. Ooh, living life on the edge, guys. All right, there we go. So now I'm going to click over to print, and this is going to communicate with the cloud and figure out how long this is going to take for me to both engrave and cut. Now it's very important, I don't know if you noticed or not, but I did not resize this file. The designer set it up to be the size. It's a really good size because you have to worry about the little holes also in the acrylic part that are going to hold your earrings. And then of course you need the acrylic to line up with your wood to make this really sturdy. So it looks like we're looking at 36 minutes and 36 seconds. So I'm going to walk my happy behind over there and hit the magic button.
All right, let's see what we got. I want to say I have a lot of, again, there's a word for it, but I don't remember, but the char around the outside right here. So I will be interested to see, because from what I understand, that usually means that you have used more power than you need. But you know, the back of it doesn't look bad, so maybe it's just this type of wood. So this is actually like a walnut. I don't know if I told you guys that yet or not, but this is a walnut that I bought locally. I'm just gonna get all these pieces out so I can show you guys how pretty it is. And I have to say, I mean, the cut is just fabulous. To be able to just push all of this out with my fingernails is really great, in my opinion. They don't have to seek out a pair of tweezers because I just don't usually have my life together enough to keep something like that close by. Alright, so I think we got it. So, you know, it goes this way, and then our acrylic, once these are all unmasked, the acrylic will be clear and they will line up just like this and fit inside of our base. Well, I'm not going to force it right here with you guys watching, but and this is our engraving. So I'm very happy with it. That's why I'm going with all this. I'm very happy with how this turned out, and I'm going to take it over to the work area so you guys can see it. Alright, so here we are. We have all of our pieces, and so we have our wood, acrylic. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to unmask everything, and then we will go through the process of putting it all together, okay? Alright guys, so the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to clean my acrylic. Not necessarily because the acrylic needs cleaned under normal circumstances, but I did have some spots where my acrylic charred. So I'm sure you guys saw that. I'm just going to, I'm just wiping it down with alcohol. See it coming off right there? So nothing drastic. I'm just going to wipe it down with alcohol and get that muck off. So with that out of the way, what I'm going to do, and just, that's not a spot, that's just where I hit the alcohol on the paper. As you can see, my wood is going to line up right here, and it's going to give me these really awesome places to hang my earrings. So I'm going to turn this over, and I am going to, now let me show you the glue again. All right, this is my favorite glue here. Now, I have found that it does not work on acrylic to acrylic. All right, but it does work on wood to acrylic. And I don't actually have to worry too much about all of this stuff up here. I just want to hit it in some, what we will call strategic places, just to kind of tack it down. Because if we get too crazy with the glue, then it's going to seep out and we will see it. And we don't want that. We definitely do not want that. Okay, so let's let that dry for just a minute. And we're going to do the same thing here. Now, for some reason, my wood actually bent a little bit, which is really weird. I haven't had that before. And I don't think it's going to make that big of a difference. It just means that I'm really going to probably apply more glue than I normally would have. And then I'm also going to just press it down. Normally you can layer the glue and just kind of call it a day. I'm going to press this down into place. Make sure that it really gets nice and adhered. Okay, so there's my etching. Okay. Now let me also tell you, this looks a little thick. All right, look how thick this is. This is 2 layers of 1/4 of an inch. But the key to remember is to always check the dimensions of the file that you're working with, because the designer will tell you what the file is set up for, and different thicknesses will result in different results. And then also, you know, like for example, you know, if I wanted a thinner piece, then I could use thinner wood. In this case, I went with a thicker wood because I felt like it was a little, I don't want to call it unstable. The pieces were a little thin. The thought of 1/4 of a piece of acrylic, or not 1/4, 1/8 of a sheet of acrylic and 1/8 of a sheet in the wood was just really, really thin to me. Anyway, where I'm going with this, while I'm waiting for this to dry, I'm trying to tell you, these are both 1/4 of an inch. The file actually calls for 1/8 of an inch. So what I had to do was, everything else was fine, but I did have to adjust the thickness of the hole that I cut in the wood for the stand. All right, so just be prepared to have to do that manually. Okay, and then all I need to do is adhere this and glue it, and it will stand up all on its own. You see how that's going to work? So what I like to do is I will apply the glue here. And I just want to say, on the wood, okay, because I just had this the other day where I had a wood project, and when I squeezed the wood together, it really squeezed out the glue along the edge, and I was able to take just a piece of, you know, I use that sanding block and sand off the parts where the glue leaked out. So you do have to let the wood dry. Let it dry. And then we'll be able to, I'll go ahead and show you this part. We're going to be able to take our earrings and insert them into the holes on the acrylic so that it will hold whatever earrings, not just earrings we make. I mean, this will hold any earrings that I want to slide through here, but in particular, this is going to hold the earrings that we made. Yay, so cute, so cute. I do love these earrings that we made, guys. All right, so guys, that's what we're looking at. Can you see how it feeds through there? All right, so I'm going to adorn this with all of the earrings that I've made over the past little while, and I will show you guys some close-up pictures because it's super awesome. But there we go, yay! So guys, how do you feel about our jewelry stand? Okay, now I'm calling it an earring holder because that is what it is. But guys, really, there are a wide range of things that you could adapt this for. You could easily alter the template so that you could hold bracelets, you could hold necklaces. This could really be an awesome display. But if you also happen to be a small business owner, what better way to display your earring creations, right? So I consider it a win-win. I really enjoyed combining the wood and the acrylic today. And of course, I like displaying my earrings. If you have any questions or comments about what we've done, make sure you leave those below. And as well as any video requests, you guys know I always love to hear those from you. You know, make sure you give us a quick subscribe. That helps us grow the channel and help us to keep bringing you these awesome tutorials. And that's all I have for you. So I just really appreciate you stopping by. And guys, we will see you again next time.